Greetings everybody from beautiful Seaside, California. It's the USL Championship out west tonight, presented by Taylor Farms. It's Monterey Bay and it's El Paso Locomotive in the USL Championship tonight. Sean St. Jacques, Gary Bailey, our entire crew, it's great to have you with us. Let's dive right in to the Western Conference standings brought to you by Coastal Roots. Yes, a chance for Monterey Bay to get off the bottom of the table in the Western Conference if they win and results go their way elsewhere. At one point, El Paso were at the top of the West. They're currently sitting in 6th, trying to turn things around. Speaking of turning things around, it's exactly what Monterey Bay have done after a slow 7-game start. The last 6 have seen a massive uptick.
They certainly have, and a lot of that's got to do with the new coach, Alex Covello. It has to be, because that's when the change occurred. They've looked a totally different team. They're playing with confidence. They're on the front foot, and they're scoring goals for fun.
Getting it from multiple resources as well. Most notably, Elijah Paul, 5 goal-scoring contributions in the league for Monterey Bay this season.
A goal against FC Tulsa in a 2-1 loss earlier in the season. Scored against Oakland in the Cup as well, and against Colorado Springs. And again, he's an example of these players who are playing with a lot more confidence now under new coach Alex Covello.
On the other side of things, it's the exact opposite for El Paso. They got off to such a good start at the beginning of the season. They haven't won a league game, Gary, in over 2 months.
6 wins and a draw in the opening 7 matches. Unbelievable. They're still a very talented side, just going through a tough period according to coach Junior Gonzalez, but they do have some great players in their team.
And veteran players that can help turn things around, most notably the Guatemalan international, Rubio Rubin.
Look at that, 8 goals and 3 assists. He's such a quality player, so dangerous. He's got good players around him. Eric Calvillo playing behind Alex Mendez. If they hit form, they will start scoring goals and winning games once again.
Well, 2 teams in some ways going in opposite directions in the Western Conference at the moment, but it's so tight in the table right now, any victory can help get a team back on track. We'll take a quick break. Lineups and kickoff from Seaside when we come back.
Starting to plan your summer vacation? Enjoy the ease and convenience of the Monterey Regional Airport. And now, starting this summer, you can fly to Chicago. Enjoy once weekly nonstop Chicago service on United Airlines. Fly direct to Chicago for leisure, business, or to make flight connections across the United States and the world. New Chicago service on United Airlines. It's easy, it's convenient, it's the Monterey Regional Airport. To learn more, visit MontereyAirport.com.
At Montage Health, we go way back in Monterey County. We've been here for life's bumps and bruises, and its joyous moments, too. Our dedicated, compassionate staff have cared for generations of you. We're locals serving locals, delivering all the care you need right here. Visit montagehealth.org.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Taylor Farms, Montage Health, and Cardinale Automotive. Sean and Gary back here with you. Let's dive into the starting 11s brought to you by The Lab. We start with Monterey Bay under head coach Alex Covello.
3 changes to the team that lost at FC Tulsa. In comes Amari Glasgow, Nick Ross, and Anise Saidi for just his second appearance. To the bench go Kelsey Ego, Belmar Joseph, and Stuart Ritchie.
El Paso Locomotive looked like this under the tutelage of Junior Gonzalez.
Would you believe it? No changes from the side that drew at home against Phoenix. They're in that sort of 5-4-1 shape. Keep an eye out for Alex Mendez, 4 goals and 2 assists, and he links up really well with Rubio Rubin.
Last time these two teams met was very, very early in the season. Got to go back to match week 2. El Paso came to Seaside, and frankly, they ripped up Monterey Bay. They won 3-0. They finished with a man advantage as well. A lot has changed since then. Monterey Bay look to be going in the right direction under their new coach, Alex Covello. Junior Gonzalez's men have hit a bit of a rough patch. No league wins in over 2 months. They'd love to refine their form at the venue where they had one of their best performances so far of this 2026 USL Championship campaign. Sean St. Jacques, Man United legend Gary Bailey, our entire crew, it's great to have you with us. Cardinale Stadium here in Seaside, California. El Paso, get us started. They're going from right to left here on ESPN+. You mentioned it, Gary, a few changes for Monterey Bay. It is a shorter turnaround for them. They played midweek on June 17th, a 2-0 loss away to FC Tulsa. El Paso settled for a point, a 1-1 home draw a week ago at home to Phoenix. But again, no league wins since April 11th for Junior Gonzalez's group, while Monterey Bay, with a win tonight, could climb as high as 9th in the table, where they've been dead last for the vast majority of the campaign as we look at the last few moments there of physical play.
Yeah, it has been incredible. Those first 7 games for El Paso, 6 wins and a draw. You're looking at them thinking, well, are they going to be the champions this year? I mean, playing like that. And Rubio Rubin was just out of this world. Just shot to the top of the Golden Boot charts. But to your point, since then they've really struggled, haven't been the same, haven't got it going. And Junior Gonzalez saying, you know what, every season brings challenges and tough moments. He said, we're going through a tough one. He said, but I believe in the quality of players we have, and we will get back to winning ways. And I think they will. It's a stacked side. It's a very good coach in Junior Gonzalez, and no reason why El Paso shouldn't find their winning streak at some stage in the near future.
One of the things that Junior Gonzalez told us, that we're not panicking. We've got veterans in this group, and like you said, Gary, they feel that it is going to turn for them sooner rather than later. They're on the back foot here, however. Monterey Bay get a throw-in on the far side.
One of the main reasons Junior Gonzalez said that they've been on such a bad run is the number of red cards they've had. They've had 7 this season, 5 in the league. The next team has 2 red cards. They've had 5. And, you know, you can't be playing with 10 men the whole time.
Cross into the middle there, just over out of a couple of players. Garcia back into the middle. The turning shot from Paul is blocked. Joel Garcia goes down in the penalty area. Robert Vince, our head referee, says play on. And then stops the play for a possible head injury here inside El Paso's 18-yard box. Calvillo slow to get up.
I'd like to see that again, because I thought Calvillo came over the back of the attacker. Well, no, to be fair, he actually wins the ball. No, fair enough. I think in that situation, eyes on the ball, you win it. 2 bodies collide. If anything, it was Calvillo who was fouled there. I just saw Alex Covello jump up and claim the penalty, and I thought there might be a shout there, but not to be.
Let's take a look at tonight's keys to the game. Brought to you by the Brass Tap. We start with Monterey Bay and those set pieces.
Yeah, they lost midweek against FC Tulsa, and it was from 2 set pieces, 1 throw in, 1 corner. So they'll have to, and then no doubt they will be better today, because their coach would have had a few quiet words with them, or maybe not so quiet words. For El Paso, keep a discipline. Again, just referring to those red cards, Junior Gonzalez saying you can't win matches with 1 player less the whole time. And most of those red cards they had, in fact all but 1, I think, took place in the first half. So they were spending the majority of the match a man down. And as good as El Paso are, you can't keep doing that. And 7 red cards already this season. I mean, most teams have at most 1, maybe 2 at the utmost, but 7 just has been a very undisciplined stretch for Junior Gonzalez players.
I was going to say, Gary, that's almost the same amount of times that Junior Gonzalez lamented about that on our coaches call with him earlier this week. He was obviously not pleased with that at all. A push and a chase down this far side. That's Omari Glasgow, the Guyana men's international. Plays it infield for Saidi, the new player brought in, a Tunisia international. Another shot comes in from Monterey Bay there, trying to fit it through a tight window. It ricochets out for a throw, and it's taken quickly. And then from that, Monterey Bay gets a corner on the far side. Well, Paso, 1 or 2 complaints from them. It's a bagel corner kick. Former U.S. men's international, Sebastian Leggett, stands over it. And puts in a decent ball. Bodies fly everywhere as the header is clawed off the line. Monterey Bay looking over to the assistant to see if it went over the line. It appears at the moment that the decision is no goal.
Wow, what a moment. Sebastian Mora coming up with a really good save there. And there was a bit of a battle in the middle of the box. Bodies went down everywhere, and it almost seemed as if everybody stopped to see if there was going to be a penalty given. And nobody dealt with the cross coming in, and eventually the goalkeeper had to come to their rescue there, El Paso.
It was Elijah Paul, who's had a couple of close calls already in this game tonight for Monterey Bay. Here's the latest.
Look at the bodies in the middle there. The 2 bodies go down, and everyone stops and puts hands up, and Elijah Paul is sharp at the back post. And Mora does really well, pulls it out of the goal, and then it gets cleared. And he's saying, did the ball cross the line? Well, the assistant ref says no.
Once again, Mora sends it upfield, but Monterey Bay swiftly get back in possession on this far side. It's played down the line towards the edge of the area. El Paso had enough numbers there initially, but it's poked out of play. And in the end, Locomotive get the decision. They get the throw. There's a look. Alex Covello has come in and tried to keep things pretty simple for Monterey Bay, and my goodness, has it worked a treat.
Certainly has. He brings a ton of experience as well. Was with San Jose Earthquakes in 2022. In Spain, he was an assistant with Espanyol in the city of Barcelona. There's some really good pedigree to coach Alex Covello.
Now the loss to Tulsa did a 4-game unbeaten run for Monterey Bay as El Paso looked to create something here. That was a good ball played into the middle. Monterey Bay cleared out for a throw. Calvillo. 2 men on him, checks it down for Beto Avila. Just kind of getting back into the fold for El Paso, coming off an injury. His cross-field ball goes back to Monterey Bay. And they do have runners either side here, Monterey Bay. Lovely through ball in behind. Wesley Leggett. Cutting in field, saved by Mora. 2 huge saves already from the Los Locos goalkeeper.
It was a good run there by Wesley Leggett. I thought he was going to cut inside. At this point here, he's got the pace. His first touch takes him wide, then he slows down, comes inside, and a little bit of acceleration there. Good strike at the goalkeeper, so it's a decent save, but you would expect him to make that save, but just felt Wesley Leggett had a chance earlier to cut inside and go straight for goal, and he went wide instead.
Inside of 9 minutes, a couple of close calls for the Seasiders here, trying to get the early lead. lovely, delicate little flick to cut through the lines for El Paso. Gabby Torres. Torres with an early ball in behind, touched out of the 18-yard box, and for Leggett to collect on this near side. Leggett tried to spin through. Calvillo wins it back for El Paso, and then an offside flag is going to go up here on the far side. Free kick for Monterey Bay. Rubin hurt on the play, but he came from an offside position. Well, enter the Brinks Tires USL Cup Game Day Sweepstakes for your chance to win a prize pack worth up to $2,000. Scan the QR code on your screen now to enter today.
Well, you mentioned this bad run of El Paso in recent weeks, but a win here today, and they could potentially be joint third with FC Tulsa. So, yes, it has been a bad run, and Junior Gonzalez saying after 2 draws, and we now need a win. We've turned the corner. If they can turn the corner and take their draws into wins, then that's where they'll be. They'll be third or very close to third, and it would still be a decent start to the season.
Another chance here for El Paso. They won it back. Glasgow put a challenge in there, no foul. El Paso not happy about that. Monterey Bay back on it with Joel Garcia Jr. on the near side. Paso's last league win was April 11th. It was arguably their best performance of the season. They won 4-0 at Hartford, which at the time was definitely a head-turning result around the USL Championship. In all competitions since then, 2 wins, 3 draws, 6 defeats, and no wins in the league. Wesley Leggett, just beautifully caressed it towards the bottom left-hand corner. He's a whisker wide from hitting the target.
That's a really good strike from Wesley Leggett, because it's got bend on it. It looks like it's not going to be on target initially. He's going to cut inside on his left foot here, and he bends. Now watch it start to curl in at the end there. The keeper hadn't moved, Mora. He's thinking that's going wide, and he's thinking, oh, maybe it's not. And it was only a foot or so away from going into that bottom corner.
A very bright and very positive start so far for Monterey Bay. Who win the ball back again and win a free kick as well. Tony Alfaro is the guilty party. He's not pleased. He feels the Monterey Bay player went down a bit too easily there, but the hosts get the free kick.
It's a little bit over-aggressive, though, in making his point, and I think maybe that's why the referee, Robert Vince, is having a word, perhaps. Have a look. There is a connection. There's not much. I agree with him. There's not much, but then when the whistle's blown, you see there, they're sort of shouting and screaming at the pad. That level of aggression is going to get you into trouble with referees. And bearing in mind the 7 red cards, and Junior Gonzalez saying, please, no more. I want to keep everyone on the pitch. It might be worth just dialing that aggro back just a little.
The word that Junior Gonzalez kept using with us, not enough discipline. That word was brought up a lot in our conversation with him earlier this week. They're really trying to crack down on that amongst the El Paso ranks. A set piece opportunity here for Monterey Bay. In by Leggett. Oh, he had the right idea. Bounces in behind, untouched, and it's a goal kick. There is Junior Gonzalez. Was the head coach for a few seasons in MLS Next Pro with LAFC2. Did a wonderful job there. First season here with El Paso. And obviously, Locomotive hit their first big rough patch in his tenure after, as we mentioned earlier, what was such a strong start to the regular season for Los Locos.
He said to us he was looking for 2 things from this match in terms of improvement: to keep compact in defense. He said better service in the box. And I mean, they got their last away match was away at Detroit City, where they got a draw, so they can dig in when they have to. They can take the pressure.
Monterey Bay's pressure leads to a turnover here. Garcia. And the shot, oh, what a save. Mora. An incredibly acrobatic stop. And Saidi, the new Monterey Bay player, was inches away from beating the goalkeeper, but it's a stellar stop.
This is a wonderful save. It's got to be up there with possibly save of the week to his left-hand side. Look at it from there. You'll see he's got to make up that ground, and he's got to have such a strong right hand to push that powerful shot out from the young man there. Anise Saidi, just 18 years of age.
Bagel corner kick is also caught by Mora. That's now 3 really impressive saves from the El Paso goalkeeper just to keep Locomotive on terms here. Avila up the other end. It was poked through by Rubin. And Jacob Jackson, the goalkeeper for Monterey Bay, is there to collect.
I think it's the first time you mentioned his name. Jacob Jackson. Has been very little pressure on that Monterey Bay goal.
Rather uneventful 15 minutes, but as you know, who am I telling you this, Gary? But you always have to be ready, right, between the sticks.
Oh yeah, that's more ready when you're doing nothing than at any other stage. When you're busy, it's easy to be ready, but back to your point about Mora. Fantastic saves. I mean, from the header, quick reflexes. And I was making the point about them getting a draw at Detroit City, which is never easy, and missing one player. There's no Armando Moreno here today. What a goal he scored in that match. Overhead kick. Golazo.
To the byline, that initial shot was blocked. Paul continues to fend off challengers here. And in the end, El Paso do their jobs defensively. It's a goal kick. No Armando Moreno is a big loss. Of course, we highlighted Rubio Rubin, 8 goals, 3 assists in the league so far this season. Just behind him, amongst El Paso's ranks at least, is Armando Moreno, who has 5 league goals so far this season and has assisted a number of Rubio Rubin's goals this season on top of that. That's a long distance effort that smashes off the bar. Monterey Bay pounding away at El Paso's door. And now Mora goes down away from the play after another close call for the hosts.
This is an incredible strike from so far out. Thumps against the crossbar. I'm not quite sure how Mora got injured in this one because he didn't get to the ball. Maybe the landing was really tough. Amari Glasgow with the effort there, but that's all of plus 35 yards plus or thereabouts. Incredible strike.
Well, Amari Glasgow has not scored yet for Monterey Bay in the league.
I wonder what Alex Cavello is telling the players there because they've been brilliant. It's been all Monterey Bay. I think all you can say is just keep it going, guys. Eventually you'll get the breakthrough.
We talked about the March 14th meeting. This is basically how it went, but completely the opposite. It was El Paso pounding away at Monterey Bay's door. They won 3-0. They absolutely walked away with the points comfortably here. How quickly things have changed just in a couple of months since then. It's been the complete opposite. The only thing Monterey Bay don't have is the opening goal.
Well, they certainly deserve it. And that man on the floor there stopped them time and time again.
They continue to look at Mora, who's had to stand on his head in the opening 18 minutes just to keep El Paso afloat. So far, it has been, well, time after time, chance after chance for Monterey Bay so far in these first 18, 19 minutes of action.
It's been a useful break for El Paso just to gather their thoughts and just try and figure out how they can stop this avalanche coming from Monterey Bay.
Junior Gonzalez does have Abraham Romero on his bench, but it's been his number 1, Sebastian Mora, that's been under siege so far.
That's a decent-ish shave. This is the big one. To his right-hand side at full stretch, powerful, strong right hand. Amari Glasgow, well, it hits the crossbar, so the keeper not really involved there, and if anything, gets injured when he lands. But it was the shot before that I thought was a top class save. Absolutely brilliant. And then the one earlier from the header from Elijah Paul that he manages to sort of get his hands behind the line almost and pull it out of the back of the net before it crossed the line completely. So, yeah, fantastic saves. Now, you've always got to be careful, Monterey Bay, that suddenly El Paso don't pop up with a chance and score. That would be a real blow. And often happens like that. You don't take your chances that come your way, and the opposition then take the very first chance they get.
Just flashed up on the screen. 6 shots for Monterey Bay, none for El Paso so far. And a swing and a miss. An attempted cross into the middle is going to roll out of play. He hit it so sweetly a moment ago, Amari Glasgow. This time completely misses it.
It's an embarrassing one, that when you end up putting so much power into it that you fall over. You know your teammates are going to remind you of that after the game.
From the goal kick here, El Paso trying to work their way out of their own half at the moment. More and more is already under pressure. Monterey Bay are trying to press them into more issues and more mistakes here. Alfaro just about spoons that out of harm's way. And then another foul. Beto Avila draws the contact. Will alleviate more of the Monterey Bay pressure.
And that's clever from Beto Avila. They were struggling to get out of defense there, El Paso, under huge pressure. You win a free kick, it just calms everything down, allows you to push all your numbers up, and now they can try and control movement of the ball, El Paso, as they normally do so well.
A rare errant feed from Eric Calvio, one of the veteran leaders in this El Paso group. Here comes Elijah Paul from Monterey Bay. Fending off 2 challengers, plays it into the middle. And the shot from Saidi is blocked away. Another critical defensive intervention from El Paso Locomotive. Proud feeling that their boys are close here to breaking the deadlock here in Seaside. Glasgow fights on and wins a throw-in.
Let me know when he's ready.
Oh, and there might be another issue here away from the ball. It's Mora Moore, I believe, again, who is down injured. Two times now that El Paso's top goalkeeper has been down in a heap.
He's keeping his hands over his face as if he's distraught, which is worrying, because if he's that worried about the injury, maybe it feels to him like it's a bad one.
Say, come on, I want everybody to get loud!
Well, the aforementioned Abraham Romero is being prepared here for Junior Gonzalez's Locomotive.
He's played a number of matches already this season, so it's not like he's untested. Experienced goalkeeper, 28 years of age. Last appearance was against Colorado Springs in the Cup, so there's been a few matches he hasn't played, but I think he'll just comfortably and seamlessly fit in. You would expect him to anyway.
Well, that is still a tough blow for El Paso. Mora has to make way. Obviously, we wish him the best. Hopefully, it's nothing too serious from a long-term standpoint there. Of course, all subs tonight are brought to you by BBSI. More adversity for El Paso to have to cope with in what's been a difficult run as of late. From the throw-in, Leggett was able to get to the byline, but El Paso take it off him. They do have to settle for clearing it out for a Monterey Bay throw. for Leggett. Glasgow into the middle. And the header from Paul is saved by the recently entered Romero. Torres cheaply gives it right back to Monterey Bay. And then Romero, fumbled it, but was able to collect it at the second attempt.
Yeah, might take him a minute or so to settle in and get used to the surroundings and the wind and the pitch and everything else.
Paso, it still feels like Locomotive are just trying to find their foothold in this game at the moment. Romero there almost putting his arms out to say, where am I going to put this ball? Monterey Bay have been relentless at this part of the field, winning the ball back. They do so again, they win a free kick. Make sure you tune into CBS Sports Network Wednesday, July 1st. It's a League One showdown. Spokane Velocity, the two-time runners-up, take on Forward Madison. And those formidable Flamingos, 9 p.m. Eastern. Catch all the action live on July 1st. Again, it's on CBS Sports Network. Sebastian Leggett lines this up for Monterey Bay. And plays it to the near side edge here. Elijah Paul is there. Try to get it back for Leggett, and El Paso break that up. Pretty good recovery tackle by the veteran Nick Ross. It stays with El Paso via a throw.
Looking back to that free kick and thinking from the Jets, but just get it into the box. You've got all the big guys that gone up. You try and play a short one and lose possession. Now everyone's got to rush back. It feels like the loss of a good chance.
There's a brief window of opportunity there for Rubio Rubin, but he was closed down quickly. Paso have it on this near side. It was played infield by Torres, played back to Alfaro. Kofi Chumasi out wide. Played forward by Cardona and given back to Monterey Bay. And eventually El Paso get the throw. Paul tried to turn, thought it was last off of the visitors.
It's important for El Paso to get their foot on the ball a little bit. They've tried to play, they've given the ball away a lot, and they've been pressed as well. See, there again, just unlike them to lose possession, but they get the free kick. But just they need to settle on the ball, knock it around, feel comfortable, start to make Monterey Bay run a little bit. Something that, again, if you went back to the early part of the season, they had teams running all over the place trying to catch them. They just haven't quite got into their rhythm just yet.
Rubio Rubin slow to get up here. Monterey Bay have done a good job so far keeping him out of the mix as far as attacking chances go for Alex Covello and his group. Set piece for Monterey Bay to defend here. Eric Calvio and Alex Mendez, who did score here the last time El Paso were in Seaside, but his ball in behind is cut out and quickly cleared away. Calvio again gives the ball away. And there could be a chance here for Monterey Bay to break up the other end with Leggett. Saidi was making the run, Leggett onto this near side. Wesley Leggett tumbles over, dispossessed. El Paso look to play their way out of harm's way here. Calvillo lays it off. Gabby Torres down this near side. Given away by Rubin. Garcia. Good step defensively by Chumasi. And Nick Ross, after an awkward pass, recovers it for Monterey Bay. Followed by Torres, committing a foul.
A very scrappy spell there. El Paso not able to keep their foot on the ball. Monterey Bay winning lots of turnover, and then they would lose it, and free kicks being given. So it's a game that hasn't really settled into any nice passing rhythms. It's certainly frustrating for both managers at this point, both coaches.
Don't miss all the exciting action of Monterey Bay FC with a group outing starting at $25 plus exclusive fan experiences like Walkout Kids, Ball Kids, the High Five Tunnel, halftime contests, and more. Visit MontereyBayFC.com to learn more.
Looking at Leggett, he's been very sharp and bright. Already had a few opportunities early on, and I like the fact that under coach Alex Covello, he's having a go. He's almost sounds like, or feels like he's said to Wesley Leggett, just have a go. Just accelerate, go there, see if you can get past your player. If you can't, don't worry about it. Give him the freedom to be a really good attacking player.
Romero's clearance was headed by Rubin. It's put back into his path. And El Paso could have a chance to break here. Beto Avila on the near side. Cuts in field, hangs onto the ball. Cuts in field again, and under tight quarters, fights on here, but off the ricochet. Monterey Bay will emerge with possession through Amari Glasgow. And Glasgow slips one defender. Dashes into space. Glasgow keeps on going, trying to lay it off. And Monterey Bay gets the throw after a wonderful run from the Guyana International.
We're seeing from him the same as I was mentioning about Wesley Leggett on the one side there, just that freedom to attack that you assume has come from the coach, saying just, you know, go and be the best version of yourself you can be. If you lose the ball, we'll cover for you. It's a whole new energy that Monterey Bay have.
It was poked through towards the edge of the area. Eventually El Paso just about get it out of harm's way on this far side. The switch for Torres. And Torres is forced to check it down to Alfaro. Torres up ahead. Oh, it's a lovely flick. Calvillo has space to run into. And then plays a reverse ball in behind. Not on the same page with any of his teammates, and Jackson is there out of his goal.
You can see what he was trying to do. There was that run from midfield, but the quality of the pass just wasn't there. It's just too much on it, but he's a clever player, Eric Calvillo. And you give him too much time on the ball, he will eventually pick out a pass that will hurt you.
Well won out of the air by Chumasi. Cardona. Paul and company trying to pressure El Paso here. And in the end, they do commit a foul. It's a Locomotive free kick. Torres. Lovely give and go with Avila. Here's Calvillo. Laying it up ahead. That was Quezada initially. It's broken up by Elijah Paul.
A good spell for El Paso. Beginning to knock the ball around now, spread it left and right. Getting creative around the edges of the box, and Monterey Bay having to work really hard defensively.
Calvillo again. Plays it out wide. It's played into the middle for Rubin. It was closed down at the right time. It ricochets out for a corner. Looked like Nico Gordon was able to get there just in time.
Okay, finding that space down the right-hand side. Good defending there by Gordon to block that, but just getting to the edge of the box momentum now, El Paso, and beginning to ask some big questions for the Monterey Bay defense.
Paso's turn from a corner. Some pushing and shoving. Robert Vince doesn't want to see anything like that. He pulls Nick Ross off to the side and Nico Cardona. And those two go back to doing exactly what they were doing already. From the corner, it was towards Rubin. Alfaro nearly had the chance as well. Smuggled away by Jackson. Couple of chances for El Paso, but they don't get a definitive shot away. Calvillo lays it off. Coronado. Gabby Torres. It's then touched out of play. It's a Locomotive throw. Torres again. Whips it in behind. And Monterey Bay had the numbers there in order to clear that away. Positive play and spell of play continues, however, for El Paso.
It's frustrating for Monterey Bay, having had so many good chances early on in the match. They're now having to really work hard to stop El Paso from scoring. The thing about these two teams is they've both conceded a ton of goals, 22 each of them, which is the highest in the West. The difference is that Monterey Bay have only scored 13 and El Paso have scored 23, which is also the highest in the West. So they've conceded a lot, El Paso, but scored even more. Monterey Bay have conceded a lot and not scored that many. So we're looking at the two very porous defenses, but so far, the goalkeepers and defenders have been on top.
The only team in the USL Championship that has scored more goals coming into the night than El Paso is Lou City. As that challenge and decision goes against Nakamura and Monterey Bay. El Paso get the free kick.
Have a look there. It's a little bit late. Makes a connection, so when he turns around and says, what? It certainly is a free kick. Just got to be a little bit careful when you come in for tackles. Even if you win the ball, you're not allowed to follow through and connect with the player.
Well, for some people, that's the best mascot in the USL Championship right there.
With the fish in the hair. Love it.
Trying to get the crowd into it here. They were into it for the first 20 minutes, but the El Paso possession has simmered down the Cardinale Stadium faithful here, at least for the moment. But Elijah Paul tries to lead Monterey Bay forward. He's had a really positive first half. Paul is double teamed towards the byline here, spins to try to get the cross in. It's deflected. It's going to be another bagel corner kick for the hosts.
Well, they conceded a couple goals from set pieces in midweek, Monterey Bay. Maybe they can turn this around and get the breakthrough from a set piece. They certainly have created enough chances, but this hasn't fallen for them as yet.
Leggett played it to the edge of the six. It's headed right back out for a throw. And Leggett, it looks like, will leave it for Omari Glasgow. And those two link up on the back end. They'll be forced to take it a second time. Thrown in towards the byline. It's kept in play. The cross is deflected. Paul tried to corral it. Flicked out for Nakamura. Nakamura trying to fend off the advances of Mendez. Either way, Monterey Bay are forced to play it all the way back to Jackson. Here's Garcia. Garcia up ahead, cut out by Gabby Torres. Calvillo over the top. Corralled by Avila. Back for Torres. Torres' cross is blocked into the air. It falls kindly for Monterey Bay, who hook it clear. Up ahead by Nick Ross. That's cut out. And eventually El Paso settled it down at the halfway line with Chumasi. Torres again. Mendez assesses the scene. Didn't have much to work with there. Alfaro. And back into the El Paso half. Just over 5 minutes plus stoppage time left in the opening half. Coronado. Quezada. Fights to win it back here. Owen was fouled on the back end of that sequence by Glasgow. Free kick, Locomotive.
For their possession, El Paso, they're not really creating much in terms of dangerous opportunities. The XG is 0.09, which suggests that they haven't really tested the Monterey Bay goalkeeper much. It's 0.62 for Monterey Bay. I'm surprised it's not higher, the chances they had in that first 10-15 minutes. Hasn't been a single shot on target by El Paso. There's been 4 for Monterey Bay. And touches in the opposition box, 15 for Monterey Bay, just 3 for El Paso. Having said all of that, they've weathered the storm and they are good enough to come and snake bite you and score from a situation like this.
Calvillo and Mendez stand over it. Had a similar free kick from this position earlier in the half, but no one was able to turn into a big chance. Calvillo delivers it. Too close to the goalkeeper, Jackson. Jackson's distribution sees El Paso corral it. Torres briefly lost it, but, well, in the end, El Paso still get the throw. Coronado leaves it. It's nudged forward. Calvillo can't get there. Another good clearance into the El Paso half. Saidi was trying to track it down. Put pressure on El Paso here. And it leads to a takeaway. Garcia. Elijah Paul invites Glasgow into the attack. Leggett tried to flick it back into Glasgow's path. And in the end, Cardona is on the case for El Paso. But then he gives it away. Another chance here. Ross tried to slither it through, and in the end, Avila clears off the ricochet. Farnsworth now. A decent run out of that. Little layoff from Saidi. Up ahead from Leggett. Now Glasgow involved. Plays it to the byline. And it's fizzed across by Paul. Leggett was arriving, but the connection wasn't quite there.
See the frustration from coach Alice Cavello. Good position by Elijah Paul. And the ball's whacked across the front. To me, it's got to find a Monterey Bay player. You've got runners in the box. I don't know if it's meant to be a shot, but if it's a shot, it's off target. If it's a pass, it's not near Wesley Leggett, so it's neither one nor the other.
El Paso get the throw in the end on this near side. The Monterey Bay Sirens return to Cardinale Stadium for the first time this season, Saturday, June 27th. Pleasanton Rage for Fan Appreciation Night of the opponents, presented by Boulevard Residential. For tickets, go to mbfcsirens.com. Monterey Bay are starting to create more and more chances towards the end of the half here. Saidi lays it off. Glasgow tried to fit it into a very tight window and finds the goalkeeper Romero.
That's interesting. Romero's been on the pitch almost the same amount of time that Moramora was. Moramora had 4 big saves to make. Abe Romero's had nothing to do. So it just shows you how it's either Monterey Bay have not been able to keep up the pressure, or more likely El Paso played their way into the match and started to get a little bit of control of the passing sequences.
That takes us into first half stoppage time. And there are 3 additional minutes to be played here at the end of the half. Not too many challenges there for Paul, couldn't quite fight through. Ross, also not able to find a teammate, but it's poor from El Paso. They give it right back. Nakamura switches the point of the attack. Glasgow to the byline. Glasgow into the middle, touched clear.
What a lovely switch of play there. Absolutely brilliant by Nakamura.
And on the back end, Monterey Bay dwell on the possession. I think that was Saidi. Waited too long to make up his mind, lost the ball, commits a foul, and El Paso alleviate the Monterey Bay pressure on this occasion.
Just going back to that Nakamura pass about 30 seconds ago, beautiful switch of play from the right-hand side to the left-hand side for Monterey Bay. Amari Glasgow bombing down the left-hand side, and there's nothing ultimately the end of it all. And that sort of sums up the first half of Monterey Bay. Tons of good chances, loads of opportunities. Yes, some good saves from Moramora, but just couldn't find that one little bit of quality that could have separated them from El Paso.
Glasgow to take the throw. And again, Elijah Paul finds Leggett. Sebastian Leggett trying to lead Monterey Bay forward, cuts it back. Lovely little return feed to Paul. There's a couple of Monterey Bay players to aim at in the middle, but it's Romero who gets onto it and outlets. His distribution is really well placed as well. Avila did well initially, trying to continue on here. Keeps El Paso on the ball. Played up ahead by Mendez. And then a lovely ball into the penalty area, but it's a big, big defensive intervention. That sees Glasgow and Monterey Bay deal with it and clear it. But then the header gives it right back to El Paso. Another chance here at the end of the half. Coronado lays it off. Torres. Could El Paso have the last word here at the end of the half? Alfaro. Torres again. Trying to get in position for the return feed. Garcia wins a free kick. That takes us past the minimum of 3 added minutes. Albert Vince does take a look at his watch and confirms that time is up at the end of the opening half. A half where momentum shifted back and forth a few times, but we still are at a stalemate, Gary.
It did really shift. What a fantastic opening 15 minutes from Monterey Bay. Only brilliant saves from Moramora kept the scoreline blank, and then El Paso played their way back into the match, started to create a lot around the fringes, nothing really to test Jacob Jackson, and it ends with Monterey Bay slightly on the front foot. So hopefully it'll all come to life in the second half.
It's certainly well poised for the second 45 minutes. Both teams looking for a win to continue to jump up the Western Conference standings, but nothing to separate Monterey Bay and El Paso at the half. in the USL Championship. We'll step aside, we'll look around the rest of the USL Championship when we come back. 0-0 at the half in Seaside.
Coastal Roots Hospitality is a proud partner of the Monterey Bay Football Club and WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. Coastal Roots Events and Catering, along with its 3 iconic restaurants, Montrio, Tarpe's, and Rio Grill, invite you to pick it up and pay it forward, where 10% of all proceeds from takeout orders are donated to various local charities. And now you can become part of the team. At Coastal Roots Hospitality, employees are the heart of our company, with a firm belief that everyone can make a difference. We are inspired by the love of the ocean, our community, and the Monterey Peninsula.
We're required to have fun.
I like to work for this company because of this family feeling.
The Coastal Roots Hospitality team is a dynamic group of professionals working together to bring exceptional, engaging service and a delicious dining experience to our guests. For more information, visit coastalrootshospitality.com.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Signs by Van, Taylor Farms, and Montage Health. Now, welcome back, everybody. Halftime is brought to you by Taylor Farms. 0-0 is the scoreline between Monterey Bay and El Paso. We'll take a break here. We'll have the second half coming up in the USL Championship in just a bit.
I think Idahoans have been clamoring for something that is theirs.
Feel a big sense of responsibility to do this right. You only get one first season.
For me, without soccer, it's like there's no air. Having it here, I feel like I can breathe again. Boise's never had anything like this.
Before the World Cup can begin, 48 national teams need a home. And home is a lot more than a practice field.
They wanted a beautiful grass field and in a sort of secure facility with great access to gyms and all the other pieces around.
Dan Rutstein had the honor of handing the keys to Orange County SC's entire facility to the U.S. men's national team. Why does it matter to you to have the U.S. national team at your facility?
Look, if you can't get excited about a World Cup, then we shouldn't be in this business. It's obviously an enormous opportunity. We're happy for them, it's a great facility. We're happy for us, we're happy for our fans, so we can be talked about in the same breath as the home nation in a home World Cup.
Orange County is joined by the Oakland Roots, who will host the Australian national team, and the Tampa Bay Rowdies hosting first-time World Cup team Cape Verde. When clubs spend multiple weeks in one building, the facility must accommodate an entire support system, not just the players. In a large country like the United States, travel can take a toll. Cape Verde's Tampa home sets up short flights to Atlanta, Miami, and Houston for its group matches. Australia will play matches in Vancouver, Seattle, and nearby Santa Clara. The U.S. team's longest journey is Seattle, sandwiched between two group matches in Los Angeles. But as the World Cup takes place, it's business as usual for the USL Championship. For Orange County, a worthwhile temporary adjustment.
We're still training next door. The short-term pain of being not allowed to use our stadium for the medium and long-term gain of working with the US national team, we could never say no to an opportunity like that.
You ever just look at them and think, yeah, I'm doing all right.
This summer, get 1,000 bonus points and a chance to win 250,000 bonus points.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Hay mucha fiesta, señor Martino. Hay sed de revancha, doctor. Pero falta gol y estamos a esperar a Hugo. ¿Hugo Sánchez? Sí, tira para adelante. ¿Quién maneja? ¿Un futbolista? Súbete, llegamos por fin. Ay, bendito sea el chapar, doctor. Hugo, ¿regreso a las canchas? ¿Algún consejo?
Sí, confía y cree en ti.
¡Ey! ¡Pasa al norte!
A donde me dé la oportunidad, pero listo para dar el paso.
¡Listo, vamos!
This is your moment.
It all starts with a spark, an idea.
That idea ignites into a dream.
The dream sharpens into a vision.
The vision fuels a process.
And through relentless craftsmanship, that process is forged into reality. Your vision,
Our craftsmanship,
one unforgettable legacy.
It is halftime in the USL Championship. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio with a look at some of the headlines from the week. Detroit City's 6-2 win at Sporting Jacks last week was an impressive number, but then 5 of those goals were scored by one player. Darren Smith put 5 of his 20 official touches into the net, becoming the first league player to reach 4 goals in a match in 13 years. Smith jumps to the top of the Golden Boot race with 11 goals on the season. Lexington SC closing in on the playoff line in the Western Conference thanks to a 2-0 win over first-place San Antonio FC. It also marks the return of forward Braudilio Rodriguez from a loan with One Knoxville of League One. Rodriguez responded with a goal in his first match, continuing his form from One Knox, where he had 3 goals and an assist. Hartford Athletic pulled off what no team had done so far this season, and the Tampa Bay Rowdies a loss. Behind the stellar performance of goalkeeper Anthony Siaha, he's grabbed hold of the Golden Glove competition, 8 total shutouts with a save percentage of more than 81%. Siaha's goals prevented statistic has risen to 5.94 this season. Upcoming national spotlight games in the championship in League One: Colorado Springs and San Antonio on ESPN2, Spokane and Forward Madison on CBS Sports Network, and the next day, AC Boise and One Knoxville on ESPN2. This is the USL Halftime Update. Let's get you back out to your match.
Welcome back, everybody. Sean St. Jacques, Gary Bailey here with you. Halftime is brought to you by Taylor Farms. It's 0-0 between Monterey Bay and El Paso Locomotive in the Western Conference of the USL Championship tonight. Let's look around the league. A lot of games going on in the USL Championship already. It's brought to you by Montage Health. Some of the games that have gone full-time, wins for the Rowdies, and a big road win as well, Gary, for Colorado Springs. They go to Tulsa. They were 1-0 down in that game. They come back and win it 2-1.
That's a fantastic away victory at a very difficult place to go to, FC Tulsa. Tampa Bay continue their good run. Birmingham Legion just dropping a lot of points. They're going to leave themselves a lot of work to do to make the top 8, and I think the same for Hartford. You've got to start winning your home games.
Decent road point for Loudoun on the other side of that Birmingham result. Jacksonville scoring home goals, but conceding too many as well. They're down 4-2 at home to the Battery. All the other games just kind of getting underway, no scores yet. All those other games are in the West.
Yeah, Sporting Jacks, 38 goals conceded this season so far. I think they're heading towards a record if they're not careful.
And by the way, that's by far the most in the USL Championship so far this season. Keep you up to date on some of those live scores as our game continues on as well. We'll take a break here. First half highlights and stats, and the second half kick from Seaside, California. It's all coming up after the break.
There is a ranch where we belong, where people believe in us, and we see what's possible when we realize our potential. This place dares you to dream, to seize opportunities, and find purpose. This is our ranch.
Online ordering with drive-through pickup now available at Bagel Corner and Postabilities at 3134 Del Monte Boulevard in Marina.
At Taylor Farms, our goal is to create healthier lives by creating healthy, fresh foods. A stronger community is a win for everyone. That's why each time the Monterey Bay Football Club scores a goal, Taylor Farms will donate $500 to a local nonprofit. Healthy goals, healthy lives. A more perfect union. We are Union!
Welcome back, everybody. Sean and Gary here with you. 0-0 is the scoreline between Monterey Bay and El Paso. It's well poised for the second 45 here in the USL Championship tonight. Of their moments, not as clear-cut as those Monterey Bay chances, mind you. As we look at the halftime stats brought to you by Monterey County Bank, no shots on target for El Paso, just one in total. Monterey Bay had plenty of chances, didn't take them.
Yeah, the shots on target they had, their XG's much higher. It's just all the stats are in favor of the home side, except the one that counts most, which is 0-0 on the score sheet.
A lot of that is down to Sebastian Mora, but of course, as you may have known from the first half, An update for those just joining us. He left the game with an injury, so Abraham Romero is in for El Paso the rest of the way as the second half is underway from Cardinale Stadium in Seaside, California. Monterey Bay get the second half off and running. They're going from right to left. Sean St. Jacques, Gary Bailey, our entire crew. It is always a pleasure to be with you on another jam-packed night of action around the country in the USL Championship. Foul and a free kick here. And our referee, Robert Vince, already has the yellow card brandished. Looks like Kofi Chumasi is going to get a booking here, and that's now confirmed.
Yeah, it was a professional foul in the end. It was more like a rugby tackle than soccer. He gets beaten, he gets turned here by Elijah Paul. He's holding onto his shirt, then he's holding onto his body. And yeah, I don't think there's any doubt that that was a professional foul. He's got to be careful now. And that's the sort of pressure you want to be putting onto players. Put them on a yellow, make them have to think twice before they make the next tackle.
Any cards, yellow or red, that are handed out tonight are brought to you by Signs by Van. And that was our first booking of the night for either side. We were talking off air, Gary, and thought you made a really good point. The first 10 to 15 minutes of this second half feel very important for Monterey Bay. They had a lot of the momentum in that first half, but we saw what happened when Monterey Bay didn't take their chances. It allowed El Paso to grow more and more into the game. It feels like that a goal, particularly early in the second half, would do Alex Covello's side the world of good.
Oh, absolutely. It'd be a heartbreaker for them if they conceded after all the chances they had first half. Interesting stat, though, for El Paso. 9 of their 11 road goals, as that ball's cleared, 9 of their 11 road goals have been scored after the 60th minute. So to your point, if Monterey Bay don't get something ahead, there's every chance El Paso will towards the end of the game.
Quezada was closed down by Omari Glasgow, and the shot not only goes wide, it goes out for a goal kick.
Just something that I think might need to change for El Paso second half. Their touches in the opposition box, just 3. 17 for Monterey Bay. So Monterey Bay were very direct. Once they got near the box, they got into it and they threatened the goal. And whereas when it came the other way around, El Paso would get close to the edge of the box, cut back, bring it back, play it around. Didn't really threaten that man there, Jacob Jackson.
Well, we saw in the halftime stats for El Paso, decent amount of possession, but 1 shot in total and none on target. Another coming together there. Free kick for El Paso. Again, Nakamura. Not pleased as it's gone against him here. Alex Mendez needs a moment for Los Locos.
Important player, Alex Mendez, created the most chances for his team, 18 in total. Puts him joint 18th in the USL. So a player who again hasn't stamped his authority on this match. We haven't seen much of Rubio Rubin, and he's sitting second in the Golden Boot. He's been very quiet so far.
Another foul and a free kick, and again it goes El Paso's way. Saidi this time perplexed. To be fair, Rubio Rubin's a bit unlucky not to be first. It took literally a historic performance from Darren Smith to push him down to second place. Scored 5 goals, which tied a league record for 1 game. Last time out, away to Sporting Jacks. A Detroit City striker from South Africa, Gary. I'm sure that brings a smile to your face.
It certainly does.
Yeah.
I think with Rubio Rubin, though, he was at the top for so long. I mean, the first sort of 7-8 weeks, he was so far ahead. 8 goals in that period and sort of struggled since to do anything around the goal. Although to be fair, he did set up the winner, or the goal against Phoenix for the draw. He did set that up in the last match with a lovely little bit of skill and got the ball to Alex Mendez, who finished it off. That was created by Rubio Rubin, but it's been a while since he actually scored. 4 games ago against Lexington was his last goal.
Beto Avila forced to check that down. Near side, Cardona. And then the aforementioned Mendez all the way back to Chumasi. Romero under some pressure here. Coronado with Ross on his hip. Paso continuing, trying to play their way out here. Monterey Bay this time cannot keep them in their own half. Torres, Calvillo. Couldn't help it along. He goes down. Feeling the contact there. Referee allows play to continue, and Farnsworth clips it up ahead. Glasgow tried to feed it down this near side. Out of play. Torres misjudged that. Leggett swiped it away from him, but El Paso are still able to collect it as Romero clears their lines. And it falls kindly onto this near side. Calvillo, time and space. Early cross into the middle. Held up by Rubin. Torres invited back into the play. Cardona forced back over the halfway line. And a decent spell of possession for El Paso, but again, nowhere near creating those clear-cut opportunities that they'll need in order to try and snatch away all the points.
You almost feel like it's possession to sort of tire the other team out or sort of strangulate them, take the passion out of the game. That's a bit better, it's a bit more direct from El Paso.
Quezada sneaks that through. Calvillo plays it across. But right on cue, definitely more positive from El Paso. They'll settle for the throw. Cardona tries to follow up on it. Leggett battling, dispossessed. Calvillo. Mendez for Torres. Torres into the middle. And the diving header by Avila is saved by Jackson. That's El Paso's first shot on target of the night.
It wasn't a bad effort. Goalkeeper deals with it very comfortably in the end because it goes to him, but a good diving header. It's a good effort to get it on target.
Monterey Bay bring it up the other end. Numbers arriving here. Saidi! Wasn't a million miles away, though it did look like Romero had it read.
Looks an exciting player, Saidi, just 18 years of age from Tunisia. It's such a pity he doesn't get the opening goal. I think for all neutrals watching, this game needs somebody to score, especially the home side, because that gets the crowd fired up, and it'll force El Paso to have to come and get on the front foot a little bit more.
So it's just underneath Saidi's boot there. That was a chance for Monterey Bay to maybe break very quickly. And it's a bit of a lackadaisical feed that's picked off. Elijah Paul settles for the throw-in for Leggett. And he'll leave it for Glasgow. Goes it right into the middle. Oh, the layoff from Paul to Leggett. That was a clever idea. It doesn't come off, and it'll end up being a goal kick to the visitors.
Just looking through the subs benches, and there are options certainly to bring on some fresh legs. No players you think can come on and win games as such, no sort of star players returning, but maybe some fresh legs for the home side. Belmar Joseph, Adrian Rebelar, who's been around at the club for a long time. Maybe they can come on and see if they can bring a bit of sparkle and extra energy. We've got Diego Abitia for El Paso and Ricky Ruiz, for example. Again, players who, especially Abitia's got a couple of goals. His goal per minute ratio is actually one of the highest there is. So possible changes for the coaches.
Oh, Elijah Paul ruffling a few feathers here on the El Paso side of things. Coronado and Quezada giving him a push or two on his way to the penalty area. Another look.
Trip on the back of the hill, and then they're holding the ball away, and then arguments. But it's not a bad thing necessarily, especially if you're a coach looking on. You want your players to be getting a little bit upset, especially Monterey Bay players who I think deserve to be in the lead given the chances they've created. They're at home, they're in front of their fans. They want to show a little bit of spark and a little bit of desire to win this game. A little bit of extra desire. They're showing desire, but a little bit of extra desire, a little bit of fire in the belly.
Another free kick for Leggett to take. Does have a short option, but there's plenty of teammates lined up, one of whom has just hit the deck on the edge of the area. Robert Vince is going to have to take a couple more players aside here for a brief conference, one of whom is Chumasi, who is on a yellow card, doesn't need to really get involved as much in the extracurriculars. Has to be careful. Saidi was also summoned.
That should be on the other side. Yeah, he said he didn't really, said it didn't matter which side he was on.
Ball in by Leggett. Good bend on it. El Paso there first to clear. It's hooked away by Calvillo. Glasgow does push Avila in the back. Junior Gonzalez wanted a foul there.
I think our cameraman got a good header in. And he gets applause for it.
I get a bonus.
Rightly so.
Heading the ball. That was me.
Lovely bit of technique.
They applauded.
Monterey Bay could do with some of that finishing at the moment.
It's always difficult when you're the home side. You want to please the crowd. You want to keep the good run going that they've had, especially at home.
Avila, that was a dangerous ball, floated into the penalty area. And Locomotive will get a corner as we approach the hour mark.
This is when they get dangerous. El Paso, we mentioned that stat again, 9 of their 11 road goals have come after the 60th minute. And they seem very good at this, sort of controlling the game or bringing the pace of the game down. And then towards the end, they take it up another notch and get that winning goal.
Another chance for Locomotive from a set piece. Oh, it's Fizz towards Alfaro, who does get a header onto it. It's laid off for Calvillo. It's a poor layoff. Calvillo forced to retreat, but keeps it alive for Cardona. This ball back into the middle is headed high into the air. Avila trying to get on the end of it. He gets there, gets it away from Leggett. Stood up again into the middle. Comes out for Coronado. Calvillo switches the point of the attack. Out wide for Mendez. Mendez spins out of harm's way. Finds Calvillo. Shot is blocked. Coronado gets it back to him. Calvillo again for Coronado to the byline. Garcia tries to stand him up. Kicking away at it. Oh, it may have come off Coronado there. Referee, though, says it did not exit the field of play. Now it does. And Los Locos get the throw after quite a 1v1 tussle. From the El Paso throw. Played in for Rubin. Alfaro. It's clipped nearly back to the halfway line for Torres. Clever little run here from Mendez. Back to him! Oh, and it's off the outside of the post! Oh, that was a luscious Locomotive move. Mendez hitting the outside of the frame. Arguably the best chance Locomotive have had all night.
Oh, absolutely the best chance, and what a good run. 1-2 strike. Comes off the outside of the post. That's just brilliant from beginning to end. Good interplay, other players knowing exactly where you are for the 1-2. So unlucky not to score, but that is their first real chance. And what did we say about the 60th minute?
It was nearly bang on. But here comes Monterey Bay. Elijah Paul, maybe one too many step-overs. Runs out of real estate, goal kick.
El Paso, goal kick.
If they drop points here today, Monterey Bay, they will look back at certainly the first 20 minutes and 4 great chances, but a number of other opportunities in the box. They started half-time again. They've been in the box so many times, Monterey Bay, without anything. El Paso barely went into Monterey's box at all. So they didn't create a lot until now. When you create that many chances and you don't take them, it's such a frustrating feeling to have as a team, as a coach. It can still change though, there's still a third of the game to go.
Nearly taken away there from Coronado. El Paso do well to rally around it. It's out of play for a throw. Make sure you get all the latest Monterey Bay FC gear. You could do so by visiting mbfcshop.com to get your gear today. It's been another good crowd and good atmosphere here at Cardinale Stadium in Seaside. They have been a bit anxious at times in this second half. Monterey Bay have come so close time and time again, and now El Paso are starting to create more and more chances. Game is still very much on a knife edge. Lovely feed here onto this near side for Omari Glasgow. Omari Glasgow cuts infield and goes for goal. And quite literally sends it over everybody's head and towards the parking lot.
Everything he did was so good up onto that final shot, the run, the break out of defense, the ball to him, and then his run. Yeah, he's just going through the way he should have hit it. I don't know if it jumped up on him, but have a look. He cuts inside here. And then just when you need to stabilize it there, the ball was bobbling and he gets right underneath it and skies it over the bar. Always think from that situation, you want to be thinking, hit it low, because as long as you hit it low, you're giving the goalkeeper problems. The moment it goes high over the bar, no problem for the keeper.
Now then, Rubin, waiting for more teammates to arrive. Avila, oh, off the crossbar again. Foul and a free kick from Monterey Bay as El Paso hit the frame yet again.
That is such a good strike. The ball, I think, was meant for Rubio Rubin, but Beto Avila gets it, turns, and just whips it onto the crossbar. Have a look at that. Turns and bends it, and goalkeeper Jacob Jackson is getting nowhere near that if it drops just under the crossbar. So now he's hit the crossbar, and then in the first half, we had that wonderful shot there from Omari Glasgow that thundered against the crossbar. So I guess both sides are now had their opportunities and come close.
It's moments after Alex Mendez hit the outside of the upright as well. It's been at that end tonight. The crossbar and the post are getting quite a workout.
There's a problem for Monterey Bay, though, because both the best chances in the second half have gone to El Paso. Weathered the storm first half, and as they've done so often on the road, they grow into the second half, good at controlling the ball, and now good at creating chances. Only thing missing is the finishing touch for either side.
Referee waves away any foul appeals there. El Paso again. Bring it into the Monterey Bay half. The layoff for Avila. He shoots again. And this one's more comfortable for Jackson. Farnsworth up ahead. Paul tried to turn, has to settle for the throw with just over 25 minutes plus stoppage time left in Seaside. Win from Monterey Bay could potentially take them within 2 points of the playoff line in the Western Conference. For El Paso, they could potentially move back into the top 5 and maybe even be on level points with the likes of Oakland and Tulsa. They're starting to get towards the top 3 in the West at that point.
And the thing with this win is for Monterey Bay, they want to get back onto winning ways after their midweek defeat. They were looking so good, they don't want to lose that momentum. And for El Paso, they have to turn around a really bad run and hope to get back to the way they were at the start of the season. So there's a lot at stake in this match, not just the 3 points, but the confidence that it will bring.
Quezada tried to stand up the cross. Foot race on the back end is won by Leggett, just ahead of Torres. And then Jackson clears it upfield. El Paso are getting more and more confident on the ball as the minutes and seconds tick by. Well, that is a bit of a loose pass. Cardona back for Romero.
Starting to wonder when the substitutes will start coming on. Like I said, there's no natural match winners on the bench, but you are getting a few tired legs. Maybe more from Monterey Bay, who, because El Paso has such a good sort of possession side, you end up chasing a lot, trying to get the ball off them. There was a lot of high press early in the match. So just wonder whether some fresh legs for the home side might not just invigorate things for the coach there, Coach Alex Covello.
Cardona's ball into the middle is hooked away. Mendez then miscontrolled it, allowing Leggett to get Monterey Bay back in possession. Wesley Leggett leads the hosts forward. They don't quite have the numbers. Leggett is caught up to by Mendez. And as he goes down, taking a little bit of a nick on the way through. Torres checks on him as the ball bounced out of play. That is another El Paso turnover. Haven't had as many of those in the second half as they did in the first. Farnsworth for Glasgow. Leggett for Paul. Paul to the byline. Still Elijah Paul here, fended off the initial challenge. Back for Glasgow. Glasgow whips it into the middle, nobody there. And it's corralled by Romero, uncontested.
Was the ball just asking for someone to run onto it? They looked a little bit static in the box, Monterey Bay. When that ball's played, you'd think there'd be a couple of runners trying to get on the end of it. Instead, they just all stand there and look at it as if, well, it's not coming to me, so is it worth the effort? But I don't know what's missing up front from Monterey Bay today. They've had a ton of chances, but not that little final bit of quality to finish them off.
You mentioned this earlier, Gary. Look at the bench for Monterey Bay. Stuart Ritchie, Adrian Revelar, Belmar Joseph, Eduardo Blancas, Georgi Lamtadze. Some chance creators in there, not necessarily chance finishers, but to your earlier point as well, Monterey Bay just in need of a fresh legs, more energy, a little bit of a burst potentially off the bench, but Alex Covello hasn't peered over his shoulder just yet.
Yeah, they have to do something. You're the home side, and you want to keep this good run going. And all the chances you've had first half must be in the back of your head thinking, surely we're not going to lose this after all the great opportunities you have. And to be fair, fantastic saves by Mora before he got injured. So you would think that they'd bring on some fresh legs fairly soon. I mean, the same could also apply to El Paso. Maybe some tired legs there. That they've got a bench with a few really good players on, Ricky Ruiz and Betia, for example. I think if I'm a coach, I want to bring on some fresh legs just to see if they can find a way through. Rubio Rubin's played so much soccer this year that you sort of wonder whether after his fantastic start, he's actually not feeling a little bit sort of tired and lacking energy up front. Maybe be a nice thing to bring him off and bring Diego Abitia on in place of him, someone who's a bit bigger and more direct.
Well, final 20 minutes still to unfold here in Seaside. Monterey Bay win the ball back. Leggett kept the ball, but the referee says he committed a foul in the process. Leggett is adamant that he gets the ball here. Robert Vince is convinced he didn't.
There's Leggett on the ball. I mean, again, he wins the ball. Does he catch a bit of the player in the process? Have a look. Perhaps he does, but you've also got to be entitled to go for the ball. It's a difficult one, and the referee's just trying to make this game a safe game for the players. So he has blown up a lot of fouls against both sides. And he's sort of kept a very strict eye on any dodgy tackles. So if that's his style of refereeing, Mr. Robert Vince, then fair enough, as long as he's consistent, which he has been.
Here's Calvio. Trying to knife it through Monterey Bay's defense. It's laid off. Jackson will clear it. Only onto this near side. Back up by Locomotive. Reset with Cardona. Alfaro. And that is given away. Leggett. Leggett to his right, plays him in. Leggett trying to dash to the byline. Stood up by Gabby Torres. And Torres does very well, wins a goal kick.
So I'm over here on the north side giving you guys some love. I need you guys to give me some love.
Frustrating for Leggett.
What do you say?
And everybody up front for Monterey Bay. Again, you go back to those chances in the first half for Wesley Leggett. The save by Mora. He hammered one right at him. Elijah Paul header looked like it had crossed the line, and Mora just caught it out. And then the save from Anise Saidi with his right arm. I think it's going to go down as one of these saves of the week. Certainly should be. Be surprised if there's many better saves than that this weekend.
Monterey Bay get the free kick this time. Now Beto Avila gives his 2 cents to the referee. There is a Locomotive player down, away from the action here. We're told that Junior Gonzalez's bench was stirring a bit as far as potential changes just a moment ago. I wonder if this might put a bit of a wrinkle into that. You can see there Omar Mora is being prepared by Junior Gonzalez here. I wonder if he may have to make an amendment to that. Looked like the player that was down there was Alex Mendez for El Paso. Mendez is able to sit back up.
It's a good opportunity for everyone to grab some fluids.
Well, meanwhile, Monterey Bay will make a change here. Eduardo Blancas is going to come in to replace Wesley Leggett. Blancas certainly a player that can create some chances. Very good on set pieces, I should add as well. Change brought to you by BBSI. It's Monterey Bay's first change of the night.
Yeah, not surprised to see it now. That you have to do something in your Monterey Bay. The onus is on you to be on the front foot, trying to do something. Now Paso also got their changes to make.
Alvaro Quezada is going to make way. Omar Mora will take his place. Now the BBSI substitution as we wait to see if Alex Mendez is okay for Junior Gonzalez's men.
Alvaro Quezada. Entering the match, number 28, Omar Mora.
One or two words of encouragement from Junior Gonzalez to Quezada on his way out. Mendez comes off for the moment, but may try to give this a go.
All right, a change on either side, so let's see if that affects the game in any way. Certainly when you come on with that extra little bit of speed, extra freshness, you do have an advantage that if you can get on the ball, you can expose the opposition.
Leggett will win Monterey Bay a bagel corner kick on the near side. El Paso will want to get Alex Mendez back in if they can, try to even the numbers here. And even Romero is trying to get some of the El Paso players in position here. There was no one marking inside the 6, and then the corner, well, goes over everybody's head anyway, I should say, and it's going to be a goal kick.
Those corners have to end up more in the middle, but I'm always surprised that there isn't a player sort of floating at the back post ready for the overhit. You always have somebody at the near post for the underhit, one, and then the far post. So that's just, unfortunately, a waste of a corner for Monterey Bay.
Another El Paso player is down, away from the action here. Eventually, the referee gives Locomotive the free kick. Beto Avila is the player down.
There's your favorite mascot. Slowing the pace down from El Paso here. Now, it could be a genuine injury, but they're a very wily team, El Paso, and they just know how to take the sting out of games and change the energy and slow it down and then suddenly speed it up again. They are suggesting that he got hit in the face, though. Eric Calvillo making the case to the ref.
Again, the bench stirs a bit for El Paso. We have been keeping an eye on some of the other games going on around the USL Championship. We mentioned that game going on in Jacksonville, the Charleston Battery beating Sporting Jacks 5-2. As the tough beginning to Sporting Jacks' life in the USL Championship continues. They're still in search of their first win. Halftime in Vegas, it's a 1-1 scoreline between the Lights and Orange County. Feels like Devin Rensing's side have been turning a bit of a corner as of late. Halftime in Phoenix, 0-0. Phoenix Rising and the Oakland Roots. Ryan Martin's side in desperate need of a positive result there. 30th minute in Sacramento. No score between Sac Republic and Dennis Sanchez's New Mexico United, who are also trying to get back into the top 8 in the Western Conference. Although, as we mentioned throughout the night, it's so tight. One result could make a massive difference as of this point in the Western Conference playoff chase, and there's still half of the season to go.
Beto Avila's got some sort of cotton pads and swabs up in his nose. He's suggesting he got an elbow in the face, hence I presume the blood from the nose. But he's tough. He'll be back on.
Certainly feels like the tempo and the pace has become very stop-start these last few moments. But there's still 10 minutes plus stoppage time left for someone to find a winner.
Hey, we're good. Hey, we're good.
Cardona tried to push it into Mendez's path. Nakamura dribbled himself into trouble and gives the ball away. And then the ball played in by Mora is touched away by Nick Ross. On the follow-up, Mendez. Cardona sneaks it through. Mora into the middle, headed high into the air. Calvillo tries to win it, Paul and then Leggett. Able to play it further up ahead. No foul, says the referee. El Paso are back on it. Gabby Torres. Calvillo lifting it over the top. It was kept alive. This far side, Torres again. Gets it away. Way off to the edge of the area, it's swept into the middle. And it's to nobody in particular, out for a goal kick. Watch the USL on ESPN2, June 24th. Really good matchup in the West with valuable points at stake. Colorado Springs take on top of the table San Antonio. Wednesday, June 24th, just a few days from now, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. It's on ESPN2. Glasgow tried to feed that into the middle, finds the side netting.
He's had quite a second half for Murray Glasgow. First half, got some good runs on that left-hand side, and of course that shot that struck the crossbar from 35 yards. But even this one here, when he does get forward, the cross is off target, goes into the side netting, no danger at all for El Paso. They just haven't really got going in the second half, Monterey Bay. Not the way they did, certainly not the first 15 minutes of the first half, and now an error.
Mora gets to the byline here, plays it across, and again it's just behind the intended target. Elijah Paul for Nakamura, who sends it up ahead. The hold-up play by Saidi. And Blanquez track it down. Garcia takes down Gabby Torres. That's a free kick. Saidi also down at the end of the play.
Wonder if it's cramped with young Saidi, 18 years of age, just in his second match for Monterey Bay. 13 minutes against FC Tulsa midweek, so this 82 odd minutes is a much bigger strain on his body. Holding the ball up there and maybe took a knock in the back of his leg, or maybe just the overall stress of 18 minutes of tough football, and it has been. It hasn't been nasty, but it really has been physically tough for both these sides.
A reminder as well, Monterey Bay have 4 substitutions they can still make. El Paso have 3 as well. I mentioned this earlier, but in some ways this game is kind of crying out for some fresh legs. And it does appear that Monterey Bay are going to bring on Stuart Ritchie, and he will replace the aforementioned Saidi. BBSI substitution. Ritchie came over to Monterey Bay from One Knoxville, where he won the league and cup double last season. Players Shield regular season crown, and then the USL League One final title as well. Mora trying to fight his way through there for El Paso. It comes through for Avila. His shot was deflected. It's out for a corner. 6 minutes of normal time left. Jackson trying to make sure all of his teammates are well positioned. Alex Mendez lines it up for El Paso. Did score the last time Locomotive were here in Seaside back in March. That was off a free kick. And he provided another definitive moment against Monterey Bay from a set piece. Coronado is over there as well in this near side corner. They're asking for some of the Monterey Bay substitutes to move out of the way here. Asking the referees to get involved there. There has been some extracurriculars near the referee as well that Robert Vince is trying to also manage here. Ball is delivered in, headed high into the air again. It's flicked out of the 18-yard box. Mora tries to track it down, gets there first for El Paso. Crosses loop back into the middle. There's a Locomotive player down as Nick Ross volleys it away. Referee will stop it for a possible head injury.
To be fair, the player went down right away and hasn't got back up, so you think that yes, it is. It's Beta Avila. You can tell by the cotton wool he has in his nose, and it seems like he's got his left ankle caught, but there were bodies going down everywhere in there. Now they're saying you've got to get a substitute on for him. There has been a lot of stop-start, a lot of injuries, a lot of players have taken knocks, especially for El Paso, going back to Mora in goals early on, having to leave the pitch.
Well, you have to credit Beto Avila. He has certainly battled. Here's the last sequence.
It's actually his own player who falls into him and catches his ankle. Now at that point there were two bodies down in the ground, and then another one's about to fall there. So, well, we hope he recovers quickly. He has been definitely one of the better players tonight, but he's taken a feral knock. When he wakes up in the morning, he's going to have black eyes, sore ankles. He's going to know he was in a game.
Battled his way through these 87 minutes as we get a lovely look at the seaside sunset here in California. The good news for these two teams is that the sun has not set on the match yet. There's still 3 minutes plus stoppage time. And it looks like Memo Diaz. He's going to come on for Avila here for El Paso, another EBSI substitution. Memo Diaz, who did play 28 times in the league for El Paso last season, just his third league appearance of this campaign. He has played a couple of times in the Cups this year as well, most notably in Prinks Tires USL Cup. Haven't seen him as much this year to this point, but could he come on and be a difference maker down the stretch? We will see. Here is Stuart Ritchie. Glasgow dispossessed. Cardona. 2 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Calvio. Torres. Gets it back on that far side. Chumasi. Alfaro. Monterey Bay fans starting to boo Gavi Torres every time he touches the ball for some reason. Alfaro again. Mendez into no man's land. One back by Nick Ross. Can Monterey Bay take advantage here? Nakamura gets it back, but it's one back by Memo Diaz. Then Ross slides in, gets Monterey Bay back onto it. We're into the 90th minute. Another El Paso player down, but plays allowed to continue on. Ritchie again. Slices through the lines. Nakamura returns the favor. Ritchie up ahead to Glasgow. And Glasgow is dispossessed by Mora. Chumasi clipping it ahead. Header by Farnsworth, who follows up. Ross then clips it ahead. Bit of an awkward jump, but Elijah Paul comes out with it for Monterey Bay. How much stoppage time will there be at the end here? Nakamura. Leggett. Nakamura tumbles away from the play here. Glasgow for Leggett. Leggett into the middle. over everybody's head. Tracked down and kept in play, and then it slides out for a Monterey Bay throw as we enter stoppage time. 6 added minutes to go in Seaside.
By the way, lovely cross from Legit 30 seconds ago from that left-hand side. Just nobody able to get on the end of it.
Another ball into the middle. It could fall for Paul! Well, at long last the moment arrives. Elijah Paul's looping header in stoppage time may have just sealed all 3 points for Monterey Bay in front of a jubilant Seaside crowd in stoppage time.
Well, he deserves it. He had chances in the first half, and he had much better chances that didn't go in. This one didn't look like it was a good chance initially. Ball gets knocked up in the air. It's allowed to bounce, which is dangerous if you're the home side. And as they were all stood there waiting for it, he gets up. Little shove in the back perhaps on Cardona, but gets away with it there. But the strength to get up and head that right in the top corner. What a fantastic header. Wasn't a great chance, but he made it into a great moment for Monterey Bay, and probably well deserved given how many good chances they had in the first half that they didn't take.
Third league goal of the season for Elijah Paul. One of the few players that was brought back to Monterey Bay after last season's overhaul. Just scored an incredibly clutch goal and has Monterey Bay all of a sudden in the box seat for all the points.
What it does mean for El Paso if this result holds is they're just barely on that playoff line. There's a whole bunch of results coming through that could see El Paso drop to as low as sort of 8th and barely in the playoff positions.
In the live table, to your point, Gary, El Paso would drop to 8th. Monterey Bay would be within 2 points of 8th. Still sitting at the bottom of the table, but that's how tight it is in the West.
And if you've gone back after sort of 7 or 8 games at the start of the season, El Paso had virtually won them all. They were way top of the league, and Monterey Bay had won nothing, and they were at the bottom. And now here they are, potentially, if this result holds, only a few points separating them.
Alex Covella wants to bring on more defensive reinforcements here. Leggett is going to be sacrificed. And Kelsey Egu will come in. Another BBSI substitution to try to help Monterey Bay hang on to the points. That's hooked back into the middle. Oh! A collision inside the 6, and the referee does see that. It's going to be a foul and a free kick from Monterey Bay as El Paso look to try to win the header ahead of Jackson.
Just a big ball looped into the box. As the goalkeeper's trying to catch it, he gets challenged. Rubin coming a little bit late. Just might have caught the leg of Jacob Jackson. There has been a lot of injuries, a lot of tackles flying in, a lot of free kicks. It's been a real stop-start game, especially in the second half.
Farnsworth will put this back into play. 2 minutes, maybe a little bit more left to go. Clipped up ahead by Diaz, and then a miscued clearance by Farnsworth. That might invite more pressure from El Paso Locomotive. Cardona. All the way back, Chumasi, Alfaro. Coronado. Gabby Torres. Gliding to the byline, stands it up into the middle. Egu's header away. Paso, they had a chance to win it back, but Nakamura smashes it into the Locomotive half. Romero well off his line. Another hopeful ball up ahead. Monterey Bay headed away through Ritchie. El Paso running out of time. This long run without a league win may very well continue. Calvillo. Paso still have a chance to rescue something from the game, however. Coronado. Whipped in by Mendez. Egu is there again. That's why they brought him into the game. Cushioned header for Glasgow. And Ritchie clears it away. Anywhere will just about do for Monterey Bay. One back for Elijah Paul. Monterey Bay, if they hurry, could have some numbers here. Paul smartly takes it into the corner. And Monterey Bay gets the throw as well.
And they get applause from the crowd. They're doing the right thing. Take the ball into the far corner, slow this match down. Seconds away from getting another fight for 3 points.
The throw-in is cleared away. How much more time will El Paso have here? Torres. Calvillo, this could be the last roll of the dice. Down that far sideline, one back by Blancas. Again, booted well into the El Paso half. And the header allows Paul to take up some more time. Referee looks at the watch. And that'll do it. Full time in Seaside. Another massive win for Alex Covello's Monterey Bay. They keep on pushing towards that Western Conference top 8. A late stoppage time winner from Elijah Paul sends them wild in Seaside, and Monterey Bay continue to be a factor in the mid-season playoff chase in the West. It's a massive late goal. It's a massive 3 points.
It certainly is. Brilliant performance by Monterey Bay. A ton of chances early on where they should have put this game to bed. The coach is going up there to, I don't know, see family or friends or just get a hug or whatever it is. Just say thank you to the fans for turning up. But if it wasn't for Mora, this game would have been over a lot earlier. But El Paso hung in there. I think he's actually just going around greeting fans, saying thank you very much. There he gets maybe a hug from family or friends. A really, really good performance overall, and well done, Monterey Bay. El Paso, they were hoping after 2 draws to turn this into a win and get back on the win column, but that man there, just too good.
Elijah Paul's our man of the match, no surprise there, presented by Bay Federal Credit Union. He's the hero, but Alex Covello might be the toast of the town. At the moment, everyone loves him right now. He's helped steer Monterey Bay back in the right direction, and they beat El Paso 1-0 in stoppage time. We'll come back and wrap it up after the break.
On the front lines, you're there when you're needed.
Get this thing rolling.
Before you're needed. On the front lines, you see what others can't. On the front lines, you use every tool possible to deliver safe and reliable gas and electricity. Because you don't just serve your community, you're a part of it. PG&E, on the front lines for us all.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the high five strangers got. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
There is a ranch where we belong, where people believe in us, and we see what's possible when we realize our potential. This place dares you to dream, to seize opportunities and find purpose. This is our ranch.
Welcome back, everybody. Sean St. Jacques, Gary Bailey here with you. Not a bad time to be a Monterey Bay supporter here in Seaside. Selfies with the winning coach, Alex Covello. Monterey Bay wins it in dramatic fashion, 1-0 over El Paso Locomotive. Full-time highlights are brought to you by massively clutch moment for the Seasiders here, and many of them have stayed around to enjoy the celebrations. Monterey County Bank brings you the full-time match stats. Plenty more shots for El Paso in that second half. They had 2 on target, but at long last, Monterey Bay found their moment. Better late than never.
Certainly was, but just 2 shots on target from El Paso. Although, as you say, they were better second half. They really struggled first 15, 20 minutes, and Monterey Bay should have put this game to bed then. They were made to wait until the very, very end, but they had better stats, they had better opportunities, better chances, and guess what? They're only 2 points behind a playoff position in the live table. What a turnaround under coach Alex Covello.
He has got Monterey Bay going in the right direction in the Western Conference of the USL Championship. Well, we had to wait with bated breath for the first goal to arrive. It ends up being the winning goal. Elijah Paul, a stoppage time winner. And the good times continue as the turnaround also continues in Seaside for Monterey Bay. For Gary Bailey and our entire crew, I'm Sean St. Jacques. We say so long from California. Monterey Bay wins it in stoppage time thanks to Elijah Paul. And they win it 1-0.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.